Morning, it's Barbara. 95% humidity, but look at that temperature, 66. Oh my gosh, it's like 20 degrees cooler than yesterday. So guess what? I'm going outside. It's damp out there. I guess I better bring a towel. But you aren't going to believe what I'm going to show you. Good morning, it's Barbara. I picked these thinking we were going to be in the house today. This was on my pepper plant. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, something is eating jalapeno peppers. What the heck? We have an invader. And look at our pepper plant. I couldn't believe it. I mean, they ate the whole thing. Well, Dennis came out last night and rescued the second one. I think the second one is going to be okay. But we were invaded by a tomato hornworm that looks like that. This is not our actual hornworm. We, of course, did not take any pictures of it, but this is what a tomato hornworm looks like. And it ate our entire plant. Crazy. Every leaf. And 3 out of the 4 peppers. I couldn't believe it. But check this out. Dennis just showed me. See these little green pebbles? That's hornworm poop. It just sat on there for a couple days and ate our plant all up and then just pooped. Isn't that crazy? So this one, you can see, I mean, I thought, oh, it did one and not the other. That's crazy. But when Dennis came out last night, and it was literally 4 inches long. And then there was a little one. Oh, there's another one. Right there. There's a horn.
Yeah.
There it is. Go get your tweezers. There's another one. There's a hornworm right there, a baby. Oh. We thought we got them all. They are... I'm beside myself with frustration. Look at what they're doing. But the one... and there was another baby like this. And then the giant 4-inch one that, just harvested this plant.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. Hornworming our plant. I can't believe it. Wow. Good thing we looked close today, sweetie.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta keep looking.
Yeah, because they came from somewhere, have no idea where. So anyway, we might be okay here. It might survive. It's got nice little leaves down here. But this one, I don't know. I don't know if it can come back. Isn't that crazy? Oh, the other big one was so gross. We looked all last night for another little one, and we didn't see that one. So he's also done our tomatoes just in case, because it is a tomato hornworm after all. So there you go. We'll keep an eye on this baby and see if this plant can continue to grow. Aw. We've been invaded. Isn't that crazy? I couldn't believe it. Well, when I saw these, and the only reason I knew is because I'm looking out the kitchen window and I saw a pepper that looked like that. I'm like, what? What's going on? And then I realized the whole plant was gone. But I didn't see the hornworm, but it was on the little plant when Dennis found it. We have not had a lot of luck with our cultivation we've tried to do. Dennis had worked so hard to have a square foot garden, and and then we got cutworms, just like you have a nice squash plant going up the fence and cut it right at the ground so that it can suck the juice, and then it's gone. He got apple rust on his apples. I mean, it's just been one thing after another. But we did get some jalapenos. And we can still eat these. Just I don't care about cutworm germs. We'll just cut or hornworm germs. We'll just cut that part off. Oh, anyway, that was gross last night. was gross. It's so cool out here. I mean, it is, damp, but it doesn't matter because it's really cool. I'm wearing a sweater. I'm wearing a summer sweater. What's that? Looks like a hole. Just like big stitches. I might want to do something about that, but maybe not. This is the sea salt. I forget who the designer is. I made 2 of these. They're fun. You start at the sleeves. In fact, I was thinking about a sea salt for an advent calendar because Leslie of Not Quite Enough Yarn podcast is doing a stripy a sweater that sort of starts at the sleeves and goes across, and then, or starts at the bottom and then you add, I'm not sure. Anyway, when I watched her podcast, I was thinking, oh, I could make a sea salt with my advent and just do stripes across the top. I can't remember. If I think of it today, I'll put a link to the pattern from Ravelry down below. But anyway, so I'm wearing a sweater. Oh, I'm just going to put on a little lipstick. This is L'Oreal. I bought this with my granddaughters. It's a good color. I got compliments on it from my granddaughters. They thought it was a good pick. So, hey, Maze. Hey, Maisie. Are you going to be a good girl today? I haven't told the folks yet what's going on. Get off the peppers. You don't want those peppers. You're not a hornworm. Anyway. So, Dennis is feeling very sprightly, I guess. I'm not sure. But he wants to take the dogs to go visit Aura. Now, the last time, we've only done that once, and they were so crazy, and it was very convoluted, and I got tackled and went down in the parking lot. I told you this story, and 2 lovely ladies from inside ran out. They saw me fall. They ran out and rescued me. Or tried to. I have practiced a couple times getting up off the floor without anything around me. But the problem with you when you fall like that is you're startled, you're a little bit in shock, whatever, and you're in public, so you're embarrassed, and and it makes it a lot harder to get up than when you just are in your living room in front of the television. But practicing in front of the television is what you got to do. I mean, you can't just go out and fall in the middle of parking lots. I mean, you could, but... So anyway, Dennis wants to take the dogs to visit Aura today. Now that we have one misadventure under our belt, he has a plan. He says, I can handle the dogs, you handle Mother. And I said, okay, all right. But first, we're going to take them for a long walk. So maybe they're a little bit worn out. And then we shall see. You got to be sure and bring water in the car. We don't usually take water because we're so close to home from the park. But if we're not going straight home from a walk, they'll need water. So I'll let you know how that goes. He said, you just worry about Mother. I will take care of the dogs. Okay. But it's a cool day, so she'll have long pants on, so they're less likely to be able to scratch her or anything. Maisie just goes crazy. Dennis does have paperwork in, and he's hoping to be able to bring Pearl, in the building to meet the other residents, but we need to go through a process for that. So, he hasn't heard back. All the goings on around here. I know. Kim came over last night. She visited her mom yesterday, took her to happy hour, and came over afterwards. So we updated her on the Aura situation, and she updated us on the London situation. She and Fred were in London. She sang at the chapel at Windsor Castle. And apparently there were 4 choirs together. One came from Louisville. Maybe there were 3. One came from Louisville, their choir, and then Sextet, the Queen's chorus, which had 6 people, kings, and then some choir, British choir. So apparently this has been, months and months in the planning. So I don't know, but King Charles was not there. He was busy knighting somebody somewhere else. He was in the castle, but he was not at the event. So there you go. Imagine she went all over, did the London thing, and then they went to Bath. She recommends Bath and the Cotswolds. So, but I think it would probably be a shorter list to list all the places you do not want to go in the UK. I mean, really. Because the UK is a charming place as far as we can tell. But that could just be Midsummer Mysteries and, Poirot speaking. Although Poirot is not a fan of the countryside. That, as he said in one, and I don't know if this was Agatha Christie or just the David Suchet Poirot's, but he said, that's why we have painters. They come out here and inflict the countryside on themselves and paint the landscape so that we can see it in the comfort of our own homes. So anyway, she had a good time, and it was not good to see her and catch up on everything. So everybody's up to speed. Aura is having a procedure on Monday that we're hoping will help, an evaluation and possible procedure that we're hoping will help with her circulation in her legs. They're arguing again, those wrens. And, birds love those horn worms. Why didn't they eat them? These little wrens are so funny because one's now in the tree in the back yelling. One of these days I'm going to put my camera back up there and in that hole, see if there's anything in there, because there's a lot of activity in that house, which makes me think there actually are eggs or chicks. Because you can hear. Could be chicks in there, right? All right. So we got pouring rain last night and thunder. We've had Pearl's thunder shirt on with her pheromones, and she did pretty well. I mean, she peed, but we were prepared for that. And but she wasn't really shaking too hard. She kept close to me. She likes to be under my feet. It feels a little bit, with my feet up, it feels a little bit like a cave or a den. But I don't think she was like terrified, which is nice. I feel like she's getting better, and that's good. They're mad. These wrens, they're just bickering. Anyway. So I did a little more on my blanket last night while I listened to my stories. And Dennis made me delicious, my favorite, pauvre au vinaigrette, or I don't know, vinegar chicken. It's got a creamy vinegar sauce that goes over the chicken. It's delicious. And I already put dibs on the leftovers. There's another, one more full meal left, and I dibbed it, and he's going to have burger, and I'm having the chicken. Well, he made my favorite on purpose, so he was like perfectly fine with that. I'm like, good, because I'm putting dibs. So anyway, that's what we had for dinner. It was delicious. I did make the crackers, so we're all set with crackers for another day or two. And yeah, Yeah. Those are other birds. I can't have my Merlin on. Well, I could have my Merlin on while I was doing a video, but I wouldn't be able to look at it, I don't think. But it just crossed my mind a way that I might be able to look at it, but I'm gonna check that after I'm done, because chances are it won't work, and then I'll just be cutting you off, and I don't want to do that. So anyway, yep, so we are going on an adventure today. Dennis told me that yesterday, and yesterday I was feeling all the feels, and thank you so much for your wonderful comments and lovely support. I really, really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. But when I'm feeling emotional, like the tears are here, you know what I mean? I think you do. He's telling me he wants to take the dogs to see his mother. I'm like, ah! But I've calmed down. I'm like, I guess you can tell from my reaction that this is not my favorite idea. But she would love to see the dogs. She says it every single time. And we haven't been able to bring Pearl into the facility because we haven't heard back. But we can bring her outside. And it's a, cool enough day that she could be outside and enjoying herself with the dog. We can't get the dogs to the patio without going through the facility. So we can't take them there. But we'll be just out in the parking lot. Out in the front, So there we go. That's the plan. I'll let you know. I'll let you know tomorrow how it went. I don't know. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, so the saga of the pepper plant. Holy cow. I'm glad we found that other one, because they double in size every day. I mean, the one was 4 inches long. I'm like, it probably was like this big yesterday. And I was right. Probably. I mean, who knows? It ate that whole plant. And look at all that poop. It was crazy. Oh, well, I'm trying to figure out how it got up there. I mean, and it doesn't seem to be affecting the flowers. So Dennis did check the tomato plants and didn't find any on the tomato plants, but he didn't find any on that either, and I just found that one. So they're not that easy to see. We need the birds to start doing their job. So anyway, that's all the news. That's all the news. I guess it's August 1st. Happy August. The summer's going really fast. We will be going to Virginia in a week from Monday. We leave on Monday the 11th. And, yeah. That should be fun. I was looking it up, and they're trying to sell us passes to the water park and all that stuff, But I'm not going to do that till we get there and we see what the story is, It's possible that not doing that is going to cost us money, but they're throwing a lot of stuff in with those passes that we don't want. So that I know we don't want. So the only thing I booked ahead of time was the birthday party. You have to book the birthday party before you check in. So Sammy's birthday's on Tuesday, our first full day there. And so I booked us a birthday party. So we're having a birthday party at the Great Wolf Lodge. We'll see what that entails. I think you get hats and cake. And people singing you happy birthday, I'm sure. But we shall see. But anyway, that's what's going on next a week, you know, well, it's Friday, so it'll be a week and a half. So lots of things happening before that with Aura. So we'll see what goes on with that. Meanwhile, I'm going to go. It's lovely out here. It's a little damp. I'm wearing a sweater. This is the first summer sweater I've worn on my video. And it's August. But it's so nice for it not to be blistering hot. I'm just tickled to have the weather change. There may be a little bit of rain this morning, they said, but I think it's not much more morning left here. And it's supposed to become less humid in the afternoon, so that'll be good. The high today is supposed to be 73. So what a change. What a drastic change. All right, I'm going to go. I'll let you know tomorrow how the whole dogs that visiting Aura goes. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please stay safe and stay sane.